Goal scored to Manly, Rockdale 2, Manly 1. Broad Air, Joe's Poultry, Direct Inject, BA Architecture, Chemist Rockdale, Zoomway, SCIS Property Group, Zappia Produce Group, EMC Civil, Gerard
Rockdale Ilinden v Manly United from the Ilinden Sports Centre. Sunday afternoon football. Let me know if you need me to change anything at all. Sounds good? 47 days ago, Rockdale Ilinden ruled the roost in NPL New South Wales. How quickly things can change. 6 weeks on, just 6 weeks on, NWS Spirit have claimed an unlikely premiership, and Rockdale find themselves in the midst of a rut. They have failed to taste victory in the 6 weeks that have followed. They have fallen down to fourth and are still awaiting a first win since the 3-1 victory against Blacktown that sent them top back in July. They are in desperate need, Paul D and Panny Nickus' side, of form and confidence heading into the finals, already guaranteed a fourth place finish and postseason football. And what better way to lift the spirits than a return to the winners list as they welcome the visiting Manly United to the Ilinden Sports Centre, themselves with just one win in their last 5 games. Jimmy Snedden's side have long since turned their attention to 2026, and it is a raft of youngsters that have been blooded early at the back end of this season to look ahead to next year, including one new exciting starting debutant tonight, which allows us to head straight into the starting 11s. Rockdale name an unchanged side from the side that drew 2-2 with Sydney Olympic last week at Nostrada Jubilee Stadium, while there are 3 changes for Manly United. Out go Max Martinello. Darcy Burgess is ousted from the squad altogether, and Will Folder drops to the bench alongside Max Martinello. Replacing them, Harry McCarthy, who got on the score sheet in a 4-2 defeat to Marconi last week. Jasper Chipman returns, having missed that game against Marconi, while the starting debutant is 18-year-old Aston Hulme. He's been one of the premiership winners in the under-20s for Manly this season, and it is the visitors who kick off proceedings in South Sydney. Of course, much to play for in the back end of this season for the 12th place Manly United. They are playing really to get minutes into the legs of some of these youngsters that they have blooded. Plenty of youth players and youth graduates in their ranks this afternoon, fielded by Jimmy Snedden, including the aforementioned Jasper Chipman, Toby Bakewell as well, another who's come into the side of late. While there will be no change to Rockdale's position in 2025, oh, lovely touch and turn by Farah Coco, who just drags the shot in the end. Did score for Manly in the reverse fixture at Cromer Park. 1-1 draw back on the 9th of May. Well, it may be largely a dead rubber for Manly, and a game that will not change Rockdale's position on the table with 2 rounds left to go. It is still an important fixture for Ilinden, because they desperately need to find some belief going in to a finals push. Only the 2 losses in that winless run of 6, but it's been compounded by some difficult defeats to the teams around them, the teams that they would be hoping to potentially face in the postseason playoffs. Withering defeats here at Ilinden to Apia, and a few weeks later at Christie Park against the now premiers, NWS Spirit, a 6-3 chaos game at Christie Park. Hope that they can pull together 2 wins in the final 2 rounds of the season. Chalakian, familiar name for Manly today, a living legend of that club, former championship winner, former captain. Wodaszewski picking it up and looking to fire early. And And he has been misfiring of late, their talismanic striker. And we'll talk about the dry run of results that Ilinden have had of late. A 6-game run without a win. It cannot be a coincidence that that is the same 6-game stretch in which Alek Urasevsky has failed to find the back of the net. It is an extremely barren run by his lofty standards. Still 22 goals this season, of course, but only 5 of those coming in the second half of the season since round 15. He's a player whom, when he's running well, Rockdale tend to be doing the same. So for Paddy Nikas and Paul D, getting the win today, building some form going into finals, and getting their fantastic captain back on the score sheet are the two primary objectives of this afternoon's play. Harry McCarthy. A stoppage time consolation against Marconi. A bit of a strange game, that one. Manly really competitive in the first half before the reigning champions raced away to a 3-1 lead. And the goals, all 4 of those 3-1 goals came in a bit of a 10-minute burst. And it was only once Marconi had made it 4-1 that Harry McCarthy pulled one back in stoppage time. Still plenty of positives to take out of the performance as Danzo takes it in his stride and switches the play for a man who has been in form of late, Ali Oglar. Feeds it to the right-hand side. The ball in is turned out of play by Jesse Perez, and so Rockdale will get an early corner just past the opening 5 minutes. Take it short. Lovely body feint to the byline. It's driven in and meets the same end result. Manly able to turn it away and out of danger. Speranza Rose, and will eventually collect it the second time of asking. A good leave there from the referee, Jake Rose. Oglar now. Shalakian. Good news for Rockdale supporters. Still quality individuals in this team, and they're putting together some nice football here. Pufflet, his cutback blocked as Blake Rashudo was ready and waiting to score again at the Ilinden Sports Centre against Manly. On the back of the net against them last year in a 4-0 win for the then reigning premiers as they did the near post, and Urasevsky has a pop, but again can't get his effort on target, and it's out of play without any danger to the goal of Levi Kay. Although might have come at some personal cost, that corner to a Rockdale player. Doesn't look like it is too bad in the end for Lockie Constable. Perez launches long. And McCarthy will be the lone hand up top. Pufflet trying to flick it over the top for Urasevsky. McCarthy has Danzo nipping at his heels, and too much attention for the liking of Jack Rose. And that defeat to Marconi, emblematic of quite a few of the performances Manly have had since really pulling up stumps on season 2025 and turning to the kids under Jimmy Snedden. There have been times where they've been blown away. Obviously, it was 5-1 to Sydney Olympic the week before that, but there has been some promising football. 3-2 wins against the Wanderers and Blacktown. Seesawing affairs where there has been a fair bit to like. On the back foot against Rockdale at the moment, though. Pufflet leading the challenge of Matt O'Donoghue. Lucello. O'Donoghue back to O'Driscoll. He's played every minute of the campaign for Manly United this season. He's the only outfielder who can lay claim to that honour alongside Levi Kay. Marcelo, the fancy flick's not really working out. This is an interesting sequence of football, if you can call it that. Chipman inside to Toby Bakewell. Well, it hasn't been a season to write home about for the visiting Manly. It certainly will give them a smile on their face to see so many of these youngsters sharing the 11 today. 7 players in the starting squad today, part of that side who won the NPL Under-20s Premiership at a canter, sealing it a few weeks ago against Sydney Olympic. Here's Braden Sorge. Rockdale Ilinden appearance number 168 for him today. Danzo lifting it in the Pufflet direction. O'Driscoll coming across and getting a toe in at the expense of a Rockdale corner. Godosevsky is going to march across to take. The good news for him as he looks to break the goal drought. He's had a fairly fruitful time of things against Manly recently. 5 goals in his last 5 against them. To the top of the box it goes for Speranza. It's a bit of a rehearsed move, but the touch is a laboured one from Brendan Chalakian. Certainly things have been more positive under Jimmy Snedden since the departure of Patrick Svansweig. Outside of the foot flick. Drops into the lap of Ollie Pufflet, who fires it across. Uglar at the opposite flank retrieving. Constable. Prosciutto. And it's a firm challenge, and after a brief delay, Jake Rose does blow his whistle against Harry McCarthy. It's been banging at the door and really threatening Levi Kay's goal, but they've really controlled the opening phases of this game, and I'm sure that is something that will be pleasing at least to Paul D and Paddy Nikas. Chalakian delivers. Uglar at the front stick with wonderful control, and then Speranza had his shot blocked en route by Perez. Chalakian. It's a searching ball. Prosciutto rises. And McCarthy comes in to pick up the pieces for Manly. Good commitment from Braden Sorge. A hearty round of applause from those at the Ilinden Sports Centre for that defensive challenge. Well, it has been a testing period this for Rockdale to end the season. been at least pleased with the late fight back last week against the rival Sydney Olympic. Come back from 2-1 down to take a point in stoppage time, courtesy of James Nikolovsky, albeit a Sydney Olympic who were playing with 10 for half an hour after Ziggy Gordon's red card. And O'Donoghue quite swift enough to latch on to that forward foray from Stefano Rossello. Chalakian couldn't touch it to the advantage of a teammate. Is that going to drop for Odasevsky? He's in an offside position. You never know what you're going to get in these games at the back end of the season when both sides' fates are in some ways assured. Rockdale still moving with plenty of energy though. Speranza to Ali Ogla, who sets his sights for a teammate in the middle. Pires in the way once again. He has been heavily involved defensively so far, has the Manly captain. Has not missed a game, Jesse Pires, since his return from injury on the 18th of April, scoring against RPA Leichhardt on that day. And it comes from Chalakian, wonderfully shaped as well, but Aaron O'Driscoll equal to the task. Marcelo sets the eyes further forward. Well won by Hunter Elliott. Only as far though as Bakewell. Pires. Aston Hulme found in space. First real chance we've had to see the 18-year-old on the football, and he's still fresh to senior football. It is one he might want to have again. Danzo. Constable twisting and turning. Manly have done really well to compress the space when the ball is on the near side, but when it gets out to the far, things can become a bit more threatening. Ali Oglar is going to drive at Jasper Chipman. Farakoko providing the support. Chipman didn't need it. Well done by the youngster. Hulme in space on the far side. He goes short instead for McCarthy, who's pulled down in the eyes of Jake Rose by Braden Sorge. And so a free kick on the way for Manly United. O'Donoghue and Farakoko, the duo standing over the set piece. It will be O'Donoghue, and maybe trying to catch the keeper, Ronan Mulgrew, unawares. Still fairly fresh in senior experiences for Ronan Mulgrew. Pufflet sets his sights on Ali Oglar and finds him wonderfully. At the top of the box is Chalakian, but is it taken off his toes by Matt O'Donoghue. Coming back to cover after his wayward free kick. Oh, that is stabbed forward. Will Odasevsky keep that alive? The answer is no. He thought that it took a touch off a Manly defender. Referee's team adjudicating otherwise. Wonderful leap from Sorge. Constable collected a bit of contact from McCarthy and responded to the charge well. Hunter Elliott. It was a delicate pass, a low percentage option. I think the percentages didn't work out for him. Danzo, such a cool customer in the center of the park. Such a consistent performer, Isaac Danzo. Not just in terms of quality, but in terms of match minutes. He's only missed 2 of Rockdale's last 60 games in NPL New South Wales. He sat out a couple of weeks ago in round 23. There's a bit of buzz around him. Newcastle Jets rumours as Urashevsky goes long, and the header on goal is saved by Levi Kay. It was a close one. A long throw of Urashevsky nearly catching out the Manly defence. Kay was sort of caught betwixt and between. He didn't leap for it. It was still an impressive save nevertheless. I actually wonder if the last touch might have come off a Manly defender that time around, because the ball did lack a bit of force as it moved towards goal. You can hear Jimmy Snedden really barking out the instructions and directing his side to keep in shape. Team shape as opposed to physical shape, as that was nearly picked off and punished by Rockdale. Chalakian's line breaker not working out that time. These are the kind of passes that when you're playing with confidence come up for you. Rockdale sorely missing that right now. Urashevsky across for Pufflet. Pufflet drives it low. Perez standing tall once more. Another set piece situation on the way for the hosts. Will be buoyed, Rockdale, by the fact that Ilinden Sports Centre has not been a easy place to come for Manly of late. 3 years since Manly came here and left with all 3 points. As Uglar bends the ball in but can only find the front stick. It's lobbed over the top. Bit of a half-hearted pass in the end from Jasper Chipman. Justin Hulme, though, wins a free kick further afield and just relieves a bit of the pressure on Manly. Been with the club for over 7 years, the 18-year-old. One of a number of players who have progressed now all the way through Manly's NPL system, from the under-13s to now the senior setup, inside the likes of a few players who we may well get to see later in Kai Evans and Jared Muir on the bench. Maxwell Pengelly in midfield, another. Pufflet is not happy with that at all. He's never going to change the mind of the assistant referee. Aaron Block and Matt Harris, our officials with the flags today. Jesse Perez. Over to Jasper Chipman. Some neat little pass for Rossello. I dare say Hulme is straight offside, and yeah, that's why the flags come up as he attempts to win the ball back off Braden Sorge. much in the way of attacking chances, but lots of tempo to this game. Elliott just runs out of real estate and ideas. Well, it looked from this particular vantage point as though that had come off the toes of Hunter Elliott, but the assistant referee thought otherwise, and so Rockdale earned themselves a corner. The tallest team, but they do attack them strongly. He's looked to the likes of Blake Rashudo in these sort of situations. They go short again. Shalakian, right footer, away, only as far as Urasevsky. It's an awkwardly heighted ball, and Rashudo can only knock it towards the goal line, and it comes off the back of Lockie Constable. How to play for a Levi K goal kick. We'll talk about silver linings in the clouds in a ho-hum season for Manly. The goalkeeping performances of Levi K by and large have been one such silver lining. 110 saves made this season going into today. Improvement on his tally from last year, and third in the league. Knocked away by Rashuto. Of course, the counterpoint is that if you ask Levi K, he would probably say, I don't want to be making that many saves in the course of a single season. Early cross. McCarthy won't receive from Matt O'Donoghue. His touch let him down at the crucial moment. That was a fine line pass from Hunter Elliott. Speranza. Danzo. He scans the field wonderfully. Even if he picked a simple pass in the end, it's good to always see players looking for the options. And Constable is harassed and harangued into coughing up the football. Manly have just regained something of a foothold in this game. Make no mistake, it has definitely been Rockdale with the majority of the early zip. Haven't seen much of Farakoko on the football, and we're not going to get to this time around either. So, top scorer this season, number 17, 8 goals for the campaign, and many of them have been very easy on the eye for Farakoko. To take that free kick quickly, Rockdale in with no desire whatsoever to allow him to do that. And of course, while this game is somewhat limited in its significance beyond the need for Rockdale to build up a head of steam before going into the first week of finals, there's of course another game running concurrently to this, which is of pretty sizable consequence, as that finds McCarthy in the middle. Good defending. Farakoko has a little nibble. Will he get another pop? The answer is no. Sorge at full stretch is able to knock it away from his toes. Game I mentioned between Sydney Olympic and Sydney United. He's not quite, but close to winner place finals. That time Ali Uglar is found offside, looking to keep up the positive form he's had, while the rest of his teammates have largely lacked it. 7 goal contributions in his last 8 games. And found the back of the net in back-to-back fixtures, and wonderfully so, might I add, against Sydney Olympic. Kogarah last week. Chipman. Nipped in the bud by Braden Sorge. He's done his fair share of full stretch defending already today. Even if Manly are yet to force Ronan Mulgrew into a save, the defenders have still had to be alert. They may have to here. Hulme has laid it down for McCarthy, who couldn't restore possession to the man who originally gave it to him. Now Farakoko lifts it inside. Hulme is there. And now Pengelly! Mulgrew comes up with a superb stop. Made his body very big. And now the Rockdale keeper has had something to think about this afternoon. Maxwell Pengelly, a 21-year-old, just couldn't find the killer touch. It's given Manly some confidence though. Farakoko inside. Rossello twisting, turning, but can only put it straight into the arms of Ronan Mulgrew. It's turned on its head. This one in the last few seconds. Manly have come out of nowhere to force two of the bigger chances of the afternoon. Jalakian. Oglar was trying to pick a gap in the legs of Jasper Chipman. It's going to be a really entertaining battle today. Jasper Chipman, a very highly rated young talent at Cromer Park. Spent a bit of time away from the senior side this season because he was off having trials in Europe. Wodasevsky launches it in. Rashudo lurking, but Kay with a confident claim. Looking to get Farakoko moving, and if he can play his cards right here, this could be a little bit of danger for Rockdale. McCarthy. Hunter Elliott. Can't rob him of the ball, and all comes to an end at the feet of Harry McCarthy. Manly at least earn themselves a throw. Coco and Chipman combine again. And this time it largely comes to naught. 13 minutes left to play of the first half at the Ilinden Sports Centre. Still awaiting the game's opening goal. Manly starting to give the Rockdale defence a little more to think about, though. And they might do it again here. That one's over the head of Hulme, who has to retreat to keep it a Manly possession. And it's all the way home. Wodasevsky is herring after it. Another foot race is on between he and Levi Kay. Kay just has to get it away anywhere will do. Such a relentless presser as Constable turns into trouble and out of play. But talk about a player setting the tone. The way he attacks the loose ball and defenders that he wants to apply pressure to. I most certainly say that Alec Udaszewski does that. Even if the goals haven't been flowing as freely in the last month and a bit. So what is curious about today's game so far is that Brendan Chalakian and the aforementioned Alec Udaszewski, so good in their link-up usually, haven't been able to do it today. Now Rockdale with something to think about at the opposite end. Oh, it's a huge chance for the youngster Aston Hulme. And the little touch it took off the defender makes it easy in the end for Ronan Mulgrew. It's the 5th appearance of the season for the 21-year-old goalkeeper. He was subbed on in chaotic circumstances after an injury to Exorus in that 6-3 defeat to NWS Spirit. Exactly a year on from when he was subbed on in similar circumstances against Marconi. I don't think any Rockdale fan will want me to mention the score of that game. Rossello. That's one challenge, but doesn't have the beating of a second Rockdale marker. That is a welcome to first grade football challenge. Aston Hulme goes down expecting the free kick, and Jake Rose tells him to get up swiftly. Uglar. Thwarted by Chipman that time around. Denzo. Lockie Constable, Chalakian, Speranza. Oh, it came off a hand. It looks clear from this vantage point, but Jake Rose elects against pointing to the penalty spot. It would have been cruel on Manly because it was friendly fire, a clearance into the arm of a Manly teammate. I think Jesse Perez knew too much about it. As Aaron O'Driscoll just tried to get a toe in. Chalakian caught in a Manly sandwich. And this time Jake Rose will whistle in Rockdale's favour. The turnout here at the Ilinden Sports Centre, and as you can hear through the effects mic, a healthy turnout from the wildlife as well. NPL football, it brings all comers to the games. And all eyes on this Brendan Chalakian free kick. Can the former Manly man make something happen for his present-day club? Chalakian and Udaszewski just doesn't really... Ooh, actually, it was a lot closer than it initially looked, but it counts for nothing because there's a Rockdale player in an offside position. And that's the question that the Ilinden 11 are asking is, who was it? Because they were not at all convinced that Alek Udaszewski was in an offside position when that was played from Chalakian. Not that it was ever really going to threaten the goal of Levi Kay, but it did dip severely, and Kay did have to tip it over the bar. McCarthy. Bloom on the overlap. Sorge in firmly. Much to the disappointment of the Ilinden bench. It is going to be a free kick against Rockdale. Jasper Chipman has made a really nice run on the far side if he can be found, and Farah Coco is in absolute acres. It doesn't go there though, it goes short in search of Stefano Rossello, and out of play for a goal kick. And I do wonder if Harry McCarthy could, when he re-watches the tape, might think twice about where that pass ended up going. Rossello coming back from an offside position, and Jimmy Snedden, the interim coach, not best pleased. Oglar. 1-2 with Chalakian, and he was brought down firmly by young Toby Bakewell. It's been an incident-fueled first half. Lots of stop, start, set piece, go again, from which neither side are to be the beneficiary. Chalakian, this one deeper, Sorge flicks on, and Kay collecting with relative ease and launching quickly for Farah Coco. Great distribution from the Manly keeper. Rossello, McCarthy the only man forward, and he falls to the ground. It's just those final flourishes that have cost Manly a few more attacking openings in this game. And particularly on that right side. Openings have been there. Pufflet down to the advantage of Constable. Really nice work from Rockdale's number 11. Space to work with on the far side now. Oglar, early ball. Udaszewski lurking. Doesn't reach him. Constable can only head it into the penalty area without much advantage. Pufflet goes to ground under no challenge, and it's out of play harmlessly for a Manly goal kick. They really have looked so different to the Ilinden side we've known and become accustomed to both last season and for the vast majority of this season. Just 7 goals scored in this winless run. When you consider they've scored 66 for the year, it shows you just how stark the drop-off has been, headlined by back-to-back goalless draws against Sydney United and the Wanderers out at Wanderers Football Park. Goalless back-to-back, something that they had not done in the previous 23 rounds of the season. Udaszewski bringing that one down nicely initially, but the Manly numbers close ranks pretty quick. Oglar. Constable. Hunter Elliott has got room on the broadcast side. He's not going to get there. Rasciuto. Picked off by Aston Hulme. And the luck is just not breaking the way of Ilinden so far. A lot of those clearances, deflections in the penalty area, they seem to all be taking last touches off Rockdale players. Rasciuto. Danzo, delicate football, really nice. This is how good they can be. And the needle threaded for Urasevsky. It's just not going to happen that time around. Good stop in the end by Kay. Urasevsky unable to put the full stop on what was a free-flowing flourish of an Ilinden attack. And even when they are bang out of form, Rockdale, they show you the ceiling of which they are capable. There wasn't a single player who did anything wrong in that sequence. Danzo's passes, Chilakian's through ball, and just the outstretched leg of Levi Kay in the way, stopping a move that deserved to be the game's opener. But instead, this game is going to end goalless after 45 minutes played. Not for a lack of trying for either side. Both teams will head to the sheds, ruining what might have been, having both had fantastic chances to open the ledger inside the opening 45. Alek Urasevsky going close right before the break, only the outstretched leg of Levi Kay denying him. Well, Manly weren't far at all in their limited attacks, because what they lacked in quantity they made up for in quality. Maxwell Pengelly having his effort on the penalty spot saved by Ronan Mulgrew, which means after a half of football at the Ilinden Sports Centre, it is as you were. Rockdale's winless run no closer to ending. Will that remain the same in the second half? Well, it won't be long before we find out. A 15-minute break on the way here at the Ilinden Sports Centre, where the halftime score is Rockdale Ilinden 0, Manly United 0.
Zoomwave, SCIS Property Group, Zapier Produce Group, EMC Civil, Gerard Maluka Partners, Sydney Wide Building Supplies, Riverosky Catering.
Second 45 about to get underway here at the Ilinden Sports Centre. And it is as we were at the start of the match. All the key storylines and the scoreline still the same. Goalless between Rockdale and Manly. As Alec Gudasevsky, who went closest right before the break, gets us back underway. Rockdale no closer to arresting their barren run, staring down the barrel of a potential 7th game without a win. It's been nearly 50 days since their 3-1 win against Blacktown. Manly, their fate this season is sealed, but hoping to compile Illinden's misery with a positive performance today. And they did have chances of their own. Maxwell Pengelly went closest in the half-hour mark. A shot from the penalty spot, or on the penalty spot, not a penalty, I should specify. Had to be saved, and saved well by Ronan Mulgrew. But it is certainly Ilinden who need the win more than Manly. Not needing it for ladder position, of course. They are locked in to finish in 4th. And as things stand, take on Blacktown in the first week of finals. But there is something to be said about this being a win that Rockdale need, even if it doesn't change their material reality on the table, just to
we please have the children that are not official
something
ball
to
girls off the field. Thank you.
believe in and recapture as much as anything that winning feeling and the desire to hunt for it when the finals roll around. It's looking like a really interesting final series, of course. Spirit having sewn up the premiership yesterday with a comfortable win against the Central Coast Mariners. It already seemed an incredible and unlikely feat for them to win the premiership. Now you wonder if they can add a championship to that too, David Perkovic's side. Apia have been playing good football, but some of the other sides in the 6, Blacktown, Marconi, Rockdale, have been a bit hit and miss of late. And then there is the small matter of whoever is left to join them, which remains a very open question, but in the game running concurrently to this one, we might be getting some answers, because Sydney United have taken the lead against Sydney Olympic, which would put them 6 points clear and wrap up their final spot should they win that game. Chalakian, Wodaszewski making a great run, but Chalakian's pass just pushing him a fraction wide to really do anything with it. Away by Bakewell. McCarthy. Well defended by Rashudo. He knew that if that pass got further afield, Rockdale could have real problems. Didn't catch that pass the way he wanted to, Bakewell, but it's been made to work by Jasper Chipman. McCarthy. Rossello. This is really good play. Hulme, McCarthy, Farakoko! It wouldn't have counted anyway, but that is by far Manly's best move of the day. And even while they are not really playing for points at this juncture of the season, playing for pride and positivity more than anything, that's the kind of football that Jimmy Sneddon, if he is to go into next season as the permanent head coach, will want them to build on and produce more of. Chalakian. It was a bit too hot of a pass from Rashuto. Good work though by Constable to win the ball back swiftly for Ilinden. And then as swiftly as they win it back, do they turn it over? Ollie Pufflet not best pleased about the pass further afield. Perez. Coco coming short. Pressure from the NPL New South Wales veteran George Esperanza. 25th appearance of the season for him today at 34 years of age. Coco is just having his own game of keepy up. He's there for a few seconds. Only by Risciuto. Orglar goes to ground. No whistle arrives. Shipman on the move. Good defending by Hunter Elliott to rid it from Hulme. Orglar searching ball. Udaszewski flicking it down. Pufflets is thwarted by the defensive intervention of Matt O'Donoghue. To rush in to make sure that Ollie Pufflet couldn't get a shot away. The last time Ollie Pufflet scored for Ilinden was the last time they won. Commanding header from O'Driscoll. The Ilinden numbers closing back quickly. There is still space for Manly to work with. Rossello. Coco making the run in behind, and I fancy that Rossello's just mistimed that. Or not. In comes the ball. Does it sit up for Hulme? It did, but Hunter Elliott's making the block. Rockdale can't bring it the other way. Chalakian. Chipman round him with ease. Rossello. Only a couple to aim at and can't find them. Maybe Chipman can? No. Risciuto, it's an errant pass in a dangerous area. Aston Hulme. That has gone smack bang into the body of Jake Rose, despite his best efforts to get out of the way. And he did really try. Rossello. Not able to confuse and confound Ali Orglar. Orglar. Chalakian. Well, well refereed by Jack Rose there, just pulling it back for the prior infringement, or infringements, should I say, on Ali Orglar, because he was collecting a fair bit of contact from the likes of Farakoko. Constable. Braden Sorge. Dale thought about flipping the field, but going to look to target this left once more, or will they? Because Isaac Danzo with a rare poor pass. Danzo back to Speranza. That was a really clever touch from him as well. The ball in is headed away by Perez. He has really done his defensive job brilliantly so far today. He has stood up and made his presence count time and again. A number of crucial blocks from a player for whom central defence is not necessarily the natural position. Bent in by Chalakian. Perez again away. Hunter Elliott striking once, twice off the post and nearly in. Chalakian. Orglar wraps his boot around it. Udaszewski was there but didn't reach it. Hunter Elliott kissing his second effort off the post. And now he's been scythed down by Aston Hulme, and it's getting a little tempestuous between those two. And Aston Hulme's NPL New South Wales debut is going to go down in the record books because he's earned himself a ticket. Looking to add to his tally of goals and assists for the season. 14 goal contributions. It's returning back to Australia with Rockdale. Can he turn provider this time? Hunter Elliott again! Oh. Well, not for a lack of trying. Hunter Elliott cannot find the game's first goal. That one looked fairly menacing off the boot. And Manly are going to turn to their bench. And it is, all things considered, a successful NPL New South Wales debut for 18-year-old Aston Hulme. He'll depart and be replaced by another Manly junior in Will Folder. Pretty much every member of this Manly bench that you will see today has come through their junior ranks. Will Folder has been with the club as far back as his under-9s. Progression through the youth ranks at Cromer Park, broken up by a stint in the Sydney FC Academy for the former Seaforth junior. Udasevsky. Rashuto. Defended by Farakoko. Rosello goes down. And wins the free kick. So approaching the hour mark here at the Ilinden Sports Centre. This is a game over the stretch that usually has been pretty good value for goals. 26 prior meetings, producing 77 goals. So nearly 3 a game. And in that history, of course, I stress those 26 head-to-head meetings are in the NPL era, so back to 2013. We've only seen the fixture go goalless twice in that stretch. And we have only twice seen Rockdale go goalless this season. Rosello picks the pass. Farakoko. Oh, good touch. Crucial touch from Speranza. And now Rockdale can come the other way through Ali Oglar. Perez for company. And again, he is equal to the task. One back, though, by Oglar. Rockdale just needing to get the ante here. It appears as though they will shortly be turning to their bench. It's as though it is going to be the reliable presence of Chris McStay coming on alongside Jerry Skotadis. Or will that substitution be sticking to just one? No. McStay is going to make his way on in place of Brendan Chalakian. And add to his tally of 7 goals and 5 assists for the season. They bring on a player in Chris McStay who has scored before against Manly, albeit in the colours of Wollongong back in 2023. Constable, high ball, Udasevsky misses it. Speranza, Oglar. McStay leaves it. Speranza whisks it in. There was an acrobatic attempt from Udasevsky. And he doesn't make contact. Great to see, even in this lean run, he's still eager to try that sort of stuff. Hunter Elliott scoops the ball away by Bakewell. Skotadis immediately involved, chesting it down for Hunter Elliott. And no whistle has arrived. That was chaotic stuff. Urashevsky, Rabona pass. Oh my goodness. Even when it doesn't come off, it's still great to watch players try that sort of stuff. But Rockdale have got to be careful at the other end. McCarthy and Will Folder can't combine. Both sides getting a little bit angsty towards the referee at the moment. But play continues. Chris McStay. Skotadis. Oglar, right-footed cross. Rashudo has thrown himself forward. Rockdale, they're going for this one. All of a sudden. They don't need the points, but good to see them playing like they need the win. Because in many respects, they do. Elliott, early ball. Urashevsky always looks likely in those sorts of situations, but Perez, for the umpteenth time, is able to produce the requisite defensive action. I wonder what is running through the mind of Paul T and Paddy Nickas right now. We're keenly watching this Ali Oglar delivery. Decent one as well. McStay makes contact. Skotadis keeps it alive. And O'Driscoll. And eventually Toby Bakewell able to expel the danger. Problem is for Manly United, their defence has not been their friend of late. And if Rockdale start to throw numbers forward, they could find themselves seriously under the cosh. They shipped 4 against Marconi last week, 5 the week prior against Sydney Olympic. Haven't kept a clean sheet since the 31st of May on the road to the Sutherland Sharks. It's a statistic that this recently misfiring Ilinden attack are looking to exploit. Pufflet. Blocked by O'Donoghue. And Paddy Nickas don't have too many other attacking cards to play off the bench. Moody Najjar really the only other. Urashevsky missiles it in. And as far as Bakewell. Constable. Oglar, McStay making a lovely curved run. And back to Oglar. To go at himself, decides not to. Questions of a handball from Rockdale. Unmoved is Jake Rose. McCarthy. Rare attack in the last few minutes of Manly. Could it provide some profit? Farrakoko dinks it to the back post. Will Folder! Not far away at all. And the final touch off a Rockdale defender. So Manly get a corner. And they nearly just smash and grabbed the lead of this game just when it seemed like Rockdale were finally starting to up the ante. Folder goes a whisker away from his second senior goal. Scored last year in just his second first grade game. Beautiful back heel away to the Sutherland Sharks. Lovely shape to the delivery, but Rockdale heads first to the football. McStay jostling, losing out. Pengelly collects. Bent in towards Stefano Rossello! Off the underside of the crossbar. Still a live chance, but Rossello's second effort. The same one, the booming switch. Shipman isolated against Ali Oglar. This game has come to life in the last few minutes, but Oglar can't find Udashevsky. Pengelly getting his body in the way. Would have been a bizarre opener. It was just a hopeful ball in behind the Rockdale defence. Kind of thing that 9 times out of 10 they would gobble up, but very nearly led to the opener through Stefano Rossello. It would have been a first goal in 463 days for him. Donahue selling himself short that time around. Sydney Olympic have levelled proceedings out at Adenza Park. Which would mean they would remain in the finals race going into the last day of the season. Folder was all over the back of Giorgio Speranza that time. He's added plenty of energy so far, the 20-year-old. The last few instances of which have been a fraction overzealous. Constable. McStay. Restores possession to Lockie Constable. And now Skotadis looking to get in on the act. And we've only a scant few mid-season signings made by Rockdale coming across from the Sutherland Sharks. It's been in and out of the side since signing as well. Oglar. That was not the desired outcome, to be fair. Good closing pressure from Jasper Chipman, so was sort of rushed into doing something with it. Ilinden still got a fair bit of football left to work with, but time slowly starting to work against them. Rossello picked off by Skotadis. Over the top it goes. Pufflet, it sits up for him. Oh, it's a great cutback, but there is no one there to meet it. It came off the arm of Skotadis, and the whistle arrives eventually from Jake Rose. Jerry Skotadis has already opened his account for Rockdale, though not at the Ilinden Sports Centre. But he'll remember that first Rockdale goal particularly fondly. It did come in that 6-3 defeat against NWS Spirits. Speranza. Fascinating to see how Rockdale approach the remainder of this game. McStay nearly loses it, now does. Chipman picking it off. I guess they look to go for this one. Rockdale do have to be careful that they're not caught out at the other end, but it is Chipman whose youthful zeal has caught him out this time. He becomes the second Manly player, of course only one of them on the field now, to enter the referee's pocketbook. Made his way all the way from Manly's SAP program at age 9 to the first grade side this year, Jasper Chipman. A searching switch that asks a lot of Farakoko. Speranza was always best placed. It's a really fascinating test of Rockdale's mentality here. How desperately do they want to go for the win and get the win, just to show the rest of NPL New South Wales in the top 6 that they will face in September that they're coming and they mean business. McStay. Few Manly players thought that the Wolves, ex-Wolves man, left a bit of a stud in there. And Stefano Rossello. Oglar and Chipman go head-to-head again, and it is Chipman who comes out on top this time. Blake Rasciuto. Speranza worked his way into a bit of a Manly cul-de-sac that time. Oh, that's a poor back pass. McStay bending ball. O'Donoghue away. There is a cavalcade of Rockdale players at the top of the box. Skatardis. Urashevsky brings it down and can't touch it to his own advantage, but it took a touch off Aaron O'Driscoll. And so it is not all for nothing. Rockdale will get a corner. Of course, both of these games, both of these sides rather, have final day games that are something of a moot point. Rockdale finishing things off with a final day clash of the two teams who call Ilinden Sports Centre home against Sydney FC. But it's a winnable game. If you build 2-2 going into finals, it would be a big deal. Elliott keeps it alive. It's stabbed at by Speranza. Rasciuto. No look pass over the top. Urashevsky can't latch on. Another corner on the way for Ilinden. Manly are weathering the storm at the moment. Thus far, they are equal to the task. That is a haphazard one made to work by Sorge. Skatardis lifts the ball in. Kay read it all the way. He now gets Farakoko moving. Lockie Constable, his only company. In comes Will Folder. And sent over the top, Harry McCarthy! Just couldn't make the chip work. And that is the warning sign for Ilinden in this game. If you're going to go for it, Manly may well pull your pants down at the other end. McStay. History tells us that this game rarely goes goalless, and that Rockdale rarely do too. McStay. Out wide to Oglar. Well, lovely pass to return it to Oglar. The cutback doesn't find a teammate, and it's flicked out by Maxwell Pengelly. The concession of another Rockdale corner. Can the Scotsman Chris McStay fashion something of good Rockdale fortune? McStay in, punched away by Kay. Speranza, Oglar on the turn. It was always spinning its way wide. And Manly weather another wave of Ilinden pressure. And they are going to make another substitution. And it is Kai Evans coming on for Harry McCarthy, who went a whisker away from the game's opening goal just seconds before. And young Kai Evans will come on for a 6th appearance in the senior setup. He made his debut away to the Wollongong Wolves back in July. And straight to the front line. As well, have a reasonable goal scoring record for the Premiership winning under-20s. He's hit 9 this season. Borusevski on the march and stretching his legs as far as they can go was Matt O'Donoghue.
Substitution for Manly, number 25, K. Evans coming on.
Block off the advance of Alec Borusevski. In from Borusevski. Sorge had to track back to make something of it at the back post. It's going to go out of play and remain a Rockdale possession. Pengelly half clears. Moshido is giving everything to try and win it back for the hosts, but can't. Speranza had to be alert to the danger and running of Farakoko. Lovely run down the left here. It's cut inside. Will it sit up instead? Rossello fires wide. Kai Evans with a fresh air swing in the penalty area. It fell at the feet of Stefano Rossello. And he, as have many a player today before him, could not hit the target at the crucial moment. And the two duck eggs that make up this afternoon's scoreline live to fight another day. Speranza. Sorge. Knocked wide for Hunter Elliott. Skotadis. Pufflet with back to goal. Finds support in the form of Lockie Constable. And Chipman is glancing it away with the outstretched leg. Sorge comes in. Speranza gets moving, and Urashevsky has found himself in a wide position, and a wicked deflection on that cross means that Rockdale will get another set-piece opportunity just as they are about to bring on someone who would love to attack a set-piece like this in James Nikolovsky. Of course, scored the equaliser against Sydney Olympic in stoppage time last week. Delivery from McStay. Urashevsky must have taken a touch on the way through, but either way, Kay makes it his own. Kai Evans goes to ground, and it's a card coming the way of Lockie Constable. That'll be his final action of the day. There's been a waggle of the finger from the Ilinden bench, so that James Nikolowski sub isn't going to come to fruition just yet. And as we enter the final 10 minutes, Manly have got to be wary of this Rockdale team's propensity for late drama. You've seen them score in stoppage time and again over the years. And while they haven't been their usual selves recently,
On your toes, mate, get ready.
it's something they have been able to do in the last couple of weeks, but it will be a moot point if Farakoko can make magic from this free kick. Oh, and he very nearly did. That was beautifully struck by the Manly youngster. He had no right to score from that sort of range, and he couldn't have come much closer. Just kissing the post of Ronan Mulgrew's goal. And that single sub of James Nikolowski onto the field has been upgraded to what looks like a double change. Ollie Pufflet and Blake Rasciuto have been replaced by James Nikolowski and Moody Najjar of MacArthur and Melbourne City fame. 25 appearances in the A-League.
Blake Rasciuto coming off, and 23 Oliver Pufflet coming off. Coming on, number 4 James Nikolowski.
The results haven't been what we've come to expect.
Number 9 Moody Najjar.
Rockdale have remained and retained their ability for late drama in this barren run. 93rd minute goal last week, 96th minute equaliser against the Mariners here at the Ilinden Sports Centre a fortnight ago. There's one thing that whether Rockdale are winning or losing will not change. They always threaten late on in games, and they'll get a chance to do it here. Jake Rose whistling for a Rockdale free kick. Sydney United and Olympic still locked at one apiece at Adenza Park. She's going to make the final day very interesting in the finals race. Wollongong, if that result holds, will be out of the hunt. Sydney United and Olympic will remain as the last two teams to battle for that 6th spot on the table. As things stand, I believe, we'll face Marconi. In comes the free kick at the top of the box. Constable, the bouncing effort is poured away by Levi Kay. It was an awkward one for the Manly keeper. He has made some solid saves today. Some really important claims in the air too. More pressure for him to deal with. McStay's delivery. Kay comes up with the football at the end of it again. Folder. Donahue just had to drop the clutch to receive that one. Oh, that's... well, he's been very good today, Jesse Perez. So that is, by a long way, his worst of the afternoon. Shipman attacked it well. Dare I say it, Jimmy Snedden, even regardless of result and what comes next in this game, very pleased with the performance that his side have put together today. Continuing to build the positives from a season turned sour. And it has been some of the young players who have stood tall. Constable away from the clutches of Kai Evans. Moody Najjar. Elliott on the overlap. Najjar can't find the cross into the area. And will Udasevsky come across for a long throw? No, they go short. And McStay will lose possession. Great sliding challenge by Hunter Elliott. There's another Manly change. Looks like it's in the offing, and it may come now because of an erroneous first touch from Hunter Elliott. It will provide the opportunity for 19-year-old Charlie Kanu to come onto the field, replacing a fellow youth product in Toby Bakewell, who's acquitted himself rather nicely.
Substitution.
He is, for the first time in his senior career, back-to-back spots in the starting 11. Kanu having only made his debut last week in the 84th minute. Another one of those Manly players in the first grade squad today who have recently wrapped up the under-20s premiership. He scored in the game that decided it, Charlie Kanu. Speranza. Little pocket of space opens up for the fullback. Well left by Skatatas for Orglar. Flipped to McStay. Hands in the back. Referee unmoved. Kanu's first touch, a slightly heavy one. Getting into the dying embers here. This is Rockdale time. Orglar drives the ball in. No red and black shirt able to meet it. Just flashes, brushes off the studs of Giorgio Speranza. Well, Manly this season have been no stranger to a goalless game. 13 times this year. They have gone an entire 90 minutes without scoring. But for Paul D and Pani Nikas, failing to find the back of the net will not sit nearly as comfortable for this Rockdale side. And if they could win it late, it really would help get the monkey off the back. Break this run of 49 days without a win in NPL New South Wales. Sorge with a little poke out of play. Flicked on forlornly by Coco. A big up and under from Giorgio Speranza. Kanu comes up with it. Manly with numbers. Farrakoko. Rossello. Oh, it's tipped onto the post by Ronan Mulgrew. Not the most convincing of saves from a hopeful Rossello effort. But man, you cannot say that Rockdale have held a lot of the football and given Levi Kay plenty of work to do, that Manly have not had their chances to come to the Ilinden Sports Centre and leave with 3 points for the first time in 3 years. Not since Bruno Mendes scored from the spot on the 15th of May in 2022 have they been able to say that. In from Coco. Overall, the worthy recipients, recycled by Evans and Mulgrew, can gather with relative ease. Superb header from O'Donoghue. Into stoppage time at the Ilinden Sports Centre. And signalled by Ben Hutchison. Only 3 minutes of stoppage time as well. Time enough for a chance at a winner, and it may break the way of Manly United, because here comes Will Folder with Farrakoko for company, and Stefano Rossello as well. Rossello can't find a teammate in the penalty spots. And here is Kanu! Is it over the line? No! Oh, goodness gracious. Centimetres away from a dream debut goal for 19-year-old Charlie Kanu. And now the Rockdale are travelling in the opposite direction. McStay. It breaks for Najar, who is sent into a spin by O'Driscoll and still comes up with it, clips it in, but it's out of play. Oh, that was so close for young Charlie Kanu. It would have been the debut goal of a lifetime. But it cannoned off the crossbar and out. Wow. What a way to end the game that would have been. All of a sudden, holding on to a point, not looking so bad for Rockdale. There may still be time for one final chance in this fixture. Who will it fall to? Space opens up for Rossello, and now Folder. Manly are certainly still going for it. Stefano Rossello, let's fly, and Mulgrew gathers, and he had to because Farrakoko was lurking. The final roll of the dice, perhaps, or not quite for Rockdale. Jimmy Snedden in no rush. They'll be pretty happy to take a point off a top four side, Manly, for the second time this season. And they will. Well, a result that does neither side any favours heading into the final round of the season. But it is Manly who will take more of the positives from this goalless draw at the Ilinden Sports Centre. Their young bucks come to Sydney South and leave with a point. And leave Rockdale wondering once more where it is all going wrong, as their winless run stretches to a 7th consecutive game, just 2 weeks away from finals. We'll still have a chance to return to winning ways on the final day against Sydney FC, but it is a fascinating fortnight that awaits Paul D and Panny Nikas' side. They will split the points with Manly today, but it might feel like a bit of a loss. And it might in many respects, with the chances both of these sides had. Manly went so close to winning it in the final seconds through Charlie Kanu. A thumping volley off the underside of the crossbar. Plenty to like about the display from Jimmy Snedden's youthful side today. Both sides in the penultimate round of the season with a point to their name. We sign off from the Ilinden Sports Centre. The final score in Sydney South: Rockdale Ilinden 0, Manly United 0.